Take it away, Kabir.
Solid. Thanks so much for tuning in to our presentation here. Our team decided to make a cortisol tracker, and we're super excited to present it to you today. So to start off, super brief overview of like what cortisol even is. It acts as the body's primary stress hormone, and if it is good in certain short-term situations, it's actually bad chronically. It can cause a lot of bad side effects like poor sleep, anxiety, weight gain, muscle loss, etc. The crux of the issue is that most people don't really track their cortisol levels. They focus on things that are related to their physical health, like exercise or eating well, when in reality, cortisol actually is something that affects your health super, super significantly. And another part of the issue is that getting a lab test and getting your cortisol officially measured is very expensive and takes a lot of time. And so because of this, there's no personalized cortisol insight.
So our solution is we created a cortisol tracker app. So this app integrates with Fitbit data, and the Fitbit data consists of the heart rate variability, sleep duration, and quality, and your steps and activity level. This data from the Fitbit will goes directly to our app, and with our predictive modeling, we can use these psychological signals to correlate with cortisol or our predicted cortisol fluctuations to estimate a user's cortisol every 5 minutes. So essentially, we can estimate the cortisol level every 5 minutes and predict what's it going to be based on these factors from the Fitbit data. And then how it works is we take the elevated resting heart rate, reduced HRV, poor sleep quality, sleep quality and like sudden stress spikes. And with our machine learning model trained on known cortisol patterns, it predicts the cortisol and displays it in graphs and charts, and it generates a personalized cortisol baseline.
All right. So when the app detects that the user has high cortisol, it gives them specific evidence-based interventions. That could include guided breathing, going for a short walk, cold exposure, caffeine timing suggestions, sleep optimization tips, or workout intensity adjustments. Next. This isn't just another stress tracker. It provides high-resolution tracking at 5-minute intervals, personalized modeling, and actionable feedback. We're translating wearable data into something biologically meaningful and preventative.
And so getting into our future vision of this project, we recognize there's a lot of biases in our data because, the sample size was only on some males that we trained it on. And so our future vision for this project is that it can also do long-term stress trend analysis instead of just being at that every 5-minute interval. And we can really sort of make some inferences about users' cortisol level over time. Hopefully it can also be used to sort of predict their productivity in the workplace and have some benefits for employers as well, beyond just the user, and also integration with other wearables because Fitbit is, a pretty small sample size. And so getting into our data and how we actually did this here, as you can see, we took some of the metrics such as resting heart rate, total minutes of sleep, heart rate intensity, and steps, and we got to use not a regression model, but it was actually a decision tree that goes in and it just determines which center metric is the greatest predictor. And so as you can see, some of the things like resting heart rate is a very strong predictor of lower cortisol. However, like BMI is a really high predictor. But one of the things we want to make sure is that this is relative towards people and their own. So BMI is, it's very difficult to change and it takes really long-term trends over time, right? Which is one of the reasons that we view this as a long-term goal of the project. And so we actually excluded BMI from our data calculation. And so some of the things you'll notice is that like over time, cortisol is generally higher in the morning and lower at night, which is why we really want to look at those variabilities within the time frames to determine whether your cortisol is low or high. So if we look at what I think is a very useful metric is your percentile as how it impacts you, and you can see you have some of the highest stress days and lowest stress days. And so looking at the Cortisol Tracker app.
All right, so this is the Cortisol Tracker app. So you can log in with Fitbit integration. You have like a personal advisor here that can display helpful tips as to how to reduce cortisol. We have like some trends in here, and this takes a little while to load. And then right here, this right here with the cortisol, like tells you how much you have right now, what your wake up time is, and your current versus average.
All right, so our final thoughts are that hopefully this can encourage more focus on better living. And so, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.